Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. Bhagwan Shri Krishna or Lord Krishna is Param Satya or the Supreme Absolute Truth. Not many people know that the Supreme Absolute Truth is not alone. In fact, he is never alone. He is always surrounded by many of his eternal associates in the eternal world who engage in his different varieties of services. We can understand this spiritual truth with an analogy of a king. Just like a king is never alone, he is always with his queens, servitors, children, priests, ministers, an army of soldiers, and the entire kingdom with all its citizens. Similarly, the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme King of all kings, is never alone. He has a big entourage of different kinds of associates who always serve him in loving attitude. These associates of Krishna have a different kind of relationship with Krishna, and on the basis of their relationship with Krishna, they can be categorized into 5 broad categories. First is those who serve him in a passive state of mood, and they are called Shanta devotees. These devotees don't have an active relationship with Krishna. They worship Krishna, they admire Krishna, but from a distance. They don't have one-to-one personal dealings with Krishna. Then the second kind of devotees are called in Dasya Bhav or Dasya mood or servitude. They have a more active relationship with Krishna. Their relationship is just like the relationship between a master and a servant. Though they serve Krishna from a distance with awe and reverence. But their relationship is more intimate compared to the first category of devotees. Then the third category of devotees have fraternal relationship with Krishna. They are called to be in Sakhya Bhav or Sakhya mood. They have friendship with Krishna just like any two friends of this world. Their relationship is more of equality and more intimate than Dasya. And the fourth kind of devotees have paternal relationship with Krishna. They serve Lord Krishna like a father or a mother. They take a superior role and they treat Krishna like a child, and thus their relationship is much more intimate. And the fifth category of devotees have a most intimate relationship with Krishna. That relationship is called Madhurya or conjugal. It's just like the relationship between a husband and a wife or a lover and a beloved. All these different relationships with Krishna has with his different devotees are totally transcendental in nature. They are not like any of the relationships of this mundane world. And thus, we should not misunderstand them to be like any relationship of this world. Of all the devotees of Krishna who are in conjugal mood with Krishna, one personality is the topmost, and that personality is Srimati Radharani. She is the topmost worshipper of Krishna, the best devotee of Krishna. And her relationship, though seemingly with Krishna looks like that of a mundane boy and a girl, but that relationship is totally transcendental. It is based on pure love. All the activities that Lord Krishna performs and his pure devotees perform in the spiritual world are based on pure love. There is no other inspiration behind those activities. In this world we see people perform different activities based on different inspirations. Some are based on greed, some are based on anger, some are based on hatred, some are based on fear, some are based on envy, and some of them are based on love. But all the activities of Lord Krishna are based on pure love. They are made by love and they are made for love. The desire is only to please the beloved, and not to please oneself. So that's how the relationship between Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani is. It's very difficult to understand the true nature and the position of Srimati Radharani. This subject is said to be very, very confidential in the scriptures. I will narrate one story which will give us a hint how this subject matter is so confidential and deep. Once it so happened, long time back, that Brahma, who is the creator of this universe, desired to understand the Lord, and that's why he took a vow of performing very severe austerities for 100 celestial years. So he went to a quiet place, and for 100 years he performed severe austerities. At the end of the austerities, Lord Narayan, being pleased with him, appeared before him and asked Lord Brahma, Lord Brahma, is your goal fulfilled? What you desired, the purpose of your performing such austerities, did you achieve it? So Lord Brahma smiled and he said, yes, Lord, I wanted to understand you totally. And after performing these austerities, at least I understood one thing about you. So Lord Narayan asked, what is that, Brahma? So Brahma said, my dear Lord, I have understood one thing, that I cannot understand you at all. So Lord Narayan here in the smile, understanding that Lord Brahma has understood the inconceivable nature of himself. Now the scriptures say Lord Narayan is confidential. So what about Srimati Radharani? She is most confidential, Param Guhya. If it's difficult to understand Lord Narayan, how much more difficult it is to understand Srimati Radharani. However, the great devotees of the Lord has left behind immense knowledge about Srimati Radharani, taking compassion on the ignorant souls of this world who don't have spiritual knowledge. One such great devotee was Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. He appeared around 500 years back on this planet Earth, and he has written a masterpiece literature named Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. In that literature, he explains about the position of Srimati Radharani, her identity and her activities. He says that Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna are one soul and two bodies. Radha Krishna Pranay Vikritir Haladini Shakti Rasmat Ekat Manav Bhui Pura Deha Vedam Katautav. Which means that although Radha and Krishna are one personality, but in long time back, they have separated themselves into two to perform various pleasurable pastimes. When we say pastimes or leelas, we should know these are transcendental activities of the Lord based on pure love. So Radharani cannot be separated from Krishna. Lord Krishna is Shaktiman and Srimati Radharani is Shakti. Lord Krishna is the energetic and Srimati Radharani is the energy. Just like the sun cannot be separated from the sunshine, and the fire cannot be separated from the heat, and the sugar cannot be separated from its sweetness, similarly, Srimati Radharani cannot be separated from Sri Krishna, or the energy cannot be separated from the energetic. They are always together. And Srimati Radharani in this way always serves Krishna. Though Lord Krishna is very attractive, that's what his name means, Sarva Akarshati iti Krishna. But the same Supreme Lord Krishna gets attracted to Srimati Radharani. Lord Krishna is called Madan Mohan. He attracts millions of beautiful cupids to himself. But this Supreme Lord Krishna, who is Madan Mohan, gets attracted to Srimati Radharani. And that's why Srimati Radharani is called Madana Mohana Mohini. So for those people who want to worship Krishna, be devotees of Krishna, they have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. It becomes easy to approach Krishna when we have attained the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Some people say that God is masculine, and some people say that God is feminine. But the Vedic scriptures tell us that God is both masculine and feminine. He has a masculine side of his and he has a feminine side of his. In Shirsh Upanishad, the invocation, it is stated, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Which means that the absolute truth is Purna. He is complete. So when God is complete, He must have both masculine and feminine characteristics. He must have the masculine qualities as well as the feminine qualities. Therefore, the absolute truth is both masculine and feminine. The masculine nature of His is represented by the masculine personalities such as Lord Krishna or Lord Ram or Lord Narayan. And the feminine aspect of His is represented by the feminine personalities such as Srimati Radharani or Sri Sita Devi or Lakshmi Devi. Amongst all the masculine personalities, Lord Krishna is the original, and amongst all the feminine personalities, Srimati Radharani is the original. So those who are interested to practice devotional service to Krishna must approach Srimati Radharani and take shelter of her lotus feet. She, being feminine in nature, has more of a motherly nature. Lord Krishna is fatherly in nature. He is strict and he is hard. But Srimati Radharani, being the universal mother, Jagat Mata, she is very soft and lenient. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, when he went to New York, America, and he was addressing the crowd who was gathered there on the appearance of Srimati Radharani, the day of Radhashtami, he said, "You see, Krishna is very difficult to approach, but Srimati Radharani is very easy to approach. She is like a mother. She is always very kind. So if you approach Srimati Radharani and say her, please engage me in the service of Krishna, Krishna will easily accept you." And then he gave a very humorous example to explain his point. He said, on the day of Janmashtami, all the devotees of the Lord Krishna have to fast throughout the day till midnight. Only after 12 o'clock at night they can break their fast. So Krishna is very hard, very strict. But on the day of Radhashtami, when Srimati Radharani appears, she says, fast only till noon. Only till 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you fast and then you get all the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to tell those people who were very new to bhakti, who were very new to devotional service, that please take shelter of Srimati Radharani, and this will help you to make tremendous progress in your devotional service. One may think, okay, so if I am new to bhakti, I should approach Srimati Radharani and thus in that way go to Krishna. But however, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that even the exalted souls, the Mahatmas, they take shelter of Srimati Radharani. He says, Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim ashritaha. Those who are Mahatmas, they take shelter of my Devi Prakriti. When Krishna says Devi Prakriti, he refers to the internal potency of his, which is Srimati Radharani. So it's not just that the new devotees or new bhaktas, they approach Krishna through Srimati Radharani. Even the great exalted personalities, they go to Krishna through Srimati Radharani. That's why we see in Vrindavan Dham, everywhere the name of Radha is written on the trees, on the walls, and everyone is there chanting Jai Radhe, Radhe Radhe. We hardly hear people say Jai Krishna or Krishna Krishna. Why so? Because the residents of Vrindavan, the Brajvasis, they are very intelligent. They know that Srimati Radharani is easily approachable, and if we please her, we can please Krishna to a greater amount. So this Srimati Radharani, the great personality, is the supreme goddess, and she is the universal mother. She is a very kind heart. If you want to make progress in our devotional service, if you want to understand Krishna, if you want to enter into the spiritual world, we must take shelter of her, and we must please her, and we must do some service for her. On this auspicious day, we should pray to her that, O Srimati Radharani, you please engage us in the service of Krishna. Srimati Radharani is the epitome of service. Her name itself means service to Krishna. Her name has derived from the Sanskrit word aradhita or aradhana, which means to worship or serve Krishna. Her all thoughts, her all actions, her all words, her all movements are inspired with the desire to purely please Krishna and to serve Krishna. So those who want to become devotees of Krishna, they derive their inspiration to serve Krishna through the blessings of Srimati Radharani. In the Puranas, it has been narrated how Srimati Radharani descended from the spiritual world to this material world. Once it so happened, 5,000 years ago, when Lord Krishna had already made his appearance on this planet to perform his wonderful pastimes, one day a king named Vrishabhanu Maharaj went to take his midday bath in the river Yamuna. When he was taking his bath over there, he suddenly saw a beautiful golden lotus flower floating on the top of the river. He was mesmerized to look at this flower, which was effulgent like thousand suns. So he approached the flower, and when he looked in the midst of the flower, amidst the beautiful petals, he found there was a very radiant, beautiful baby girl. He was mesmerized looking at the beauty of this girl. He wondered, how come this flower is here? And how come this beautiful girl is here? Who is she? Who gave birth to this girl? When he was thinking like that, suddenly Lord Brahma appeared in the sky. And he told Vrishabhanu Maharaj, O king, in your last life, you and your wife, Kirtida, they performed severe austerities to get the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, as their daughter. But somehow or other, in that life, that desire was not fulfilled. But you are blessed to have a goddess of fortune as your daughter in the next life. Since the Lord was so much pleased with you, instead of giving the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, as your daughter, he bestowed you the blessing that the greatest goddess of fortune, the original source of all goddesses of fortune, Srimati Radharani, would appear in your family as your daughter. So this very girl is Srimati Radharani. Take her, worship her, serve her, and be blessed. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj was so happy, so joyful. He took the baby girl in his arms and he went back to his palace to inform to his queen about what had happened. The queen Kirtida was also very happy. They had celebrations, they invited different people, fed the brahmanas, gave cows in charity, and the whole kingdom of Vrishabhanu Maharaj was very joyous. However, they started to notice that this girl Radha was not opening her eyes and she was not speaking anything. She was making no noise. So somehow they feared whether this girl is born blind and dumb. With this fear in their mind, they were praying to the Lord to show them some direction. So once it happened that the great sage Narada visited their palace, and Narad Muni told Vrishabhanu Maharaj, I heard, O king, you got a daughter in your home, a recently born baby girl? The king said, yes, my dear sage, we got a very beautiful daughter. So the Narada said, I would like to have a look at her. Please take me in. So the king said, okay, sage, please come. Looking at the king, Narada could understand that Vrishabhanu Maharaj was not very happy. He was sad about something. So Narada asked, what's wrong? So Vrishabhanu Maharaj said, my dear sage, master, although we got such a beautiful girl as our daughter after many, many years, somehow, unfortunately, she's not talking, she's not making any noise, she's not even crying, and she doesn't open her eyes. We fear that she is born blind and dumb. So Narad said, don't worry, O king, I'll tell you something. If you do it, definitely your daughter will start to speak and will start to look. So then the king said, one day you invite Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai and their beloved son Krishna and Balram to your home to feed them prasadam. And that day you will see that your daughter Radha will open her eyes and will speak sweet words. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj, thus accepting the advice of Narad Muni, invited Nand Baba and Yashoda Mai, and he also told them, please bring Krishna along with you. So one day they came and Krishna also came. When Nand Baba was meeting Vrishabhanu Maharaj, Yashoda Mai was meeting Kirtida, Krishna somehow or other escaped them and crawled into the room where Radharani was lying in a cradle. Krishna peeped inside the cradle, and as soon as Krishna put his head inside the cradle, Srimati Radharani suddenly opened her eyes and she started crying and making sound. And when Kirtida Mataji heard this, she became so happy that Srimati Radharani actually had very beautiful eyes and a very sweet, soft voice. In that way, they had wonderful celebrations and they got Srimati Radharani, the topmost goddess of fortune, the eternal consort of Sri Krishna, as their daughter. This is how Srimati Radharani appeared in this material world. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.